At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Navigating through this spiritual journey is challenging. Healers need healers, trainers need trainers, and leaders need leaders too. If you're looking for a space that offers Reiki healing, emotional mastery, chakra healing, and even one-on-one spiritual consultation, visit us at todayswellness.com. Get all your spiritual needs met and just have someone you can actually talk to. Because whatever it is that you are seeking is also within you.
Peace, fam. We are live again down at Samir Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. We will greatly appreciate it. You know, I love you all. I love all of you guys, even my haters. Even my haters. I love you too. So hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Got a couple of announcements. Then we'll jump to the topics. And then after the topics, I'll put the link in the chat room. You guys are more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. So announcement number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tours. We are rolling. Actually, we're rolling. Come on, pull up, kind of slow. There you go. Pull up. There you go. Okay. We are rolling to Zanzibar next month. September 22nd through October 1st. September 22nd through October 1st. September, let me slow down. 22nd through October 1st. We are rolling to Zanzibar. So if you're interested in joining us in Zanzibar, I got one spot remaining. You are more than welcome to join us. We will love to have you all in Zanzibar. We're going to have an excellent time. In Zanzibar. So please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa to learn more. We're also rolling to Benin for the Voodoo Festival. That's January 3rd to the 12th. Again, Benin for the Voodoo Festival. That's January 3rd to the 12th. We're going back for sure. Yeah, Kid, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Central Park 5, and I want to be very careful. I want to be nice. But yeah, we'll get into the Central Park 5 here in a minute. Hey, Frenchie. Our favorite Cameroonian is in the house. So Sierra Leone in April, that's April 20th through the 29th. Then we're going to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. That's June 1st to the 10th. Then back to Nigeria, August 3rd to the 12th. Guys, so we had a meeting. It hasn't been officially announced, but I'm preparing for it to be announced any day, any minute now. We had a meeting with tourism in Sierra Leone, the tour operators, in regards to another citizenship swearing in ceremony. And what you guys see, those are the tentative dates. Again, it has not been officially announced, but the ball is moving now. So we're just waiting from the official green light from the government, but it's definitely looking like there's going to be another citizenship swearing in ceremony in November. So if you're interested, hit me up. Please visit Danfo.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa. And when you guys sign up for the email list, I am going to call you. You are going to get a call from me. I'm going to personally call you. I reach out to everybody. So, visit Africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topics. Topic number one, Nigeria. Nigeria, my beautiful country of Nigeria. We looked so bad at the Olympics. It was embarrassing. The women's basketball team did good. They made it to the semifinals. But more okay, here we go. More Nigerians medaled for non-Nigerian countries than Nigerians for Nigeria. So Nigeria, a country of over 220 million Black folks. Again, Nigeria, a country of over 220 million Black folks, should be dominating sports more than even America. The majority of Black Americans today, we all got Nigerian roots, every single one of us. Nigeria should be dominating sports, period. But all the good Nigerians, they compete for non-Nigerian nations. Case in point, there was a shot putter. Here we go. Where is it? Here we go. Annette Echikunwoke. Annette Echikunwoke was supposed to compete for Nigeria, but Nigeria had messed up the paperwork. And that's been consistent. It's like Nigeria Olympic Committee continues to mess up the paperwork. Continues to mess up the paperwork. It's embarrassing. Okay, let's play this clip. Let's play this clip. I mean, it's embarrassing. How does this continue to happen? How do you mess up the paperwork for the Olympics? How do you mess up the paperwork for the darn Olympics? Someone explain how. How did that happen? How does that happen? So let's watch her in action. Guys, hit the like button for me. Please hit that like button.
Okay, Nature Boy, what's that bird then?
Gotta speak
It's a male finch. They give seeds to females in a bonding ritual.
Throwing up a Nigerian flag. But no, Nigeria couldn't get the paperwork together. I mean, it's a joke. This is just a flat out joke. It's a shame. She should be holding up a Nigerian flag, but no. Nigeria couldn't get the paperwork together. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Central Park 5. I said this before and I say this again respectfully. Should Donald Trump apologize? I think so. Why all the focus is on Donald Trump? I don't know. And the reason why I say that is because Donald Trump did not force the parents of those kids to tell those kids to confess to a crime they didn't commit. They want to leave that part out of it. They want to leave out that the parents came to the police station and said, hey, kids, listen, go ahead and confess to doing it, and let's get up out of here. I mean, then the prosecutor, the DA, who was doing her job, because at the end of the day, the kids confessed to it. They took the advice, the terrible, poor advice of their parents. They confessed to it. So the DA went after them. Linda Fairstein, I think her name is. She was doing her job because the kids confessed to it. But they're all Democrats. Everybody that railroaded those kids were all Democrats. They were all liberals. Linda Fairstein was a huge Democratic donor, huge Obama and Clinton campaigner. She was rubbing elbows with the Obamas and the Clintons, and they knew her role in the Central Park 5. Everybody knew about this. These are facts. It wasn't induced. The parents told them to confess to the crime. The main lady who prosecuted them was a Democrat, a huge Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama supporter. Now, will the Central Park 5 hold the Obamas and the Clintons accountable for taking that campaign money from the lady who prosecuted them? Of course not. But all the focus is on Donald Trump. Only one of the Central Park 5. I don't know if I can say the word on YouTube. R word, that lady. The others was there but didn't help. The DNA of only one was found. Hold on, let me put the link in the chat room. You got to call in. I never knew this. And I'm going to need receipts and facts to back up this statement. You got to call in. You got to call in. I had no clue about this. But again, is this true? Yeah, I need receipts. You make a statement like that, I need receipts. But anyways, links in the chat room. Call in. I need receipts. I've never heard that claim. But anyways, like I said, the parents, Fairstein, they were the problem, not Trump. But we're more of a problem. But I will say, I think Trump should apologize. But and these are the facts. The parents told them to confess to a crime they didn't commit. And that's something that's important. And that for some reason, why that's always omitted, I don't know. Yeah. I think that's what happened. It was somebody else. It was that was in the movie, that docu-series or the Netflix series. That now one of the inmates had confessed to doing it. Another inmate. Yes, Crenshaw Grinder. Listen, the Nigerian women's basketball team is beautiful. You absolutely right. Hold on, let's pull them up real quick. Let's pull them up real quick. You are right. They have some cuties on there. They do have some cute girls on their basketball team. Let's see if we can pull something up. Here we go.
Business. It's all day and into the night. And it's why all the businesses that keep this world turning choose advanced solutions and partnership from Comcast Business, powering more businesses than anyone, powering possibilities.
To the way Nigeria will want.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, you can. If not, we'll go ahead and close out. But link is in the chat room. Listen, anybody can call in. FBA, it don't matter. Anybody and everybody could call in. Call in. Mr. Sandman, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, so you saying Trump that all that money that he put up to try to get those 5 kids at Central Park 5 convicted of that rape. You don't think that was racially motivated?
What? No, because I mean, at the end of the day, and I hate to say it and bring it up again, they confessed to it.
Yeah, but they were minors, right?
Well, but the parents told them to confess to it.
Right. Yeah, because they were under the impression that they would get it like a slap on the wrist instead of having to go through all the litigation.
Bro, dude. I mean, because again, I think that's the problem is we continue to deflect the Trump on that. Now, do I agree with what Trump did? Absolutely not. I don't. But we don't hold the parents accountable like we do Trump, like they do Trump, which just doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, like we're talking about, like, 30 years ago, and this is like, New York City in the late 80s, early 90s, whereas though, that was just a jungle back then, with all the crime, and people were getting away with, way more serious crimes on a regular basis in New York City back in those days. That, I guess the parents might have been under the impression that, because they were minors, they would get a slap on the wrist. But, with the crime bill that they were pushing to, end the crack epidemic and all the
Right. And who pushed the crime bill?
everybody in the
Who's,
Senate and the Congress.
who signed it? Whose crime bill was it? Who was the president at the time?
I think Biden will.
Right. It was Biden and Bill Clinton was the president. Democrats. Go ahead.
Bill Clinton.
Was
No,
it,
actually, I thought it was George Bush who signed it into law.
hold on, let me look it up. Crime bill. It might have been crime 1994 crime bill. 94. That's Clinton, right? Hold on.
Yeah, that is Clinton.
Yeah. So all Democrats.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on with that.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out, again, and once again, what Trump did was wrong. And I think he should apologize. But why all the focus on Trump and not the Clintons, not Biden, not the parents for telling the kids to confess to a crime they didn't commit? That's my point.
Yeah, I understand that, but Clinton and Biden aren't running for president right now. And if Trump wasn't running for president, we would be talking about the Central Park 5 now. So
right. So this is all political. This is all politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Right. And I agree with that. It's all politics. Like nobody gave a F about the Central Park 5 until Trump started running for office. Yeah. Which I agree with that. Nobody cares.
I think the idea is that they're trying to show that he has a lack of authenticity or a lack of moral compass by the way that he tried to convict those young black kids. I think that's the angle.
Well, they were convicted.
Yeah, I mean, well, he helped convict them.
How did he help and convict them? He wasn't in office. He wasn't in the jury. He wasn't.
I was under the impression that he had donated some money to help get him convicted or something like that.
How do you donate money to help get somebody convicted?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. I thought I heard that before, but I suppose like he could have paid for a legal team, to scrounge up evidence against the kids.
No, Linda Fairstein was the DA. So you have to prove the connection between Trump and Linda Fairstein. I think that was her name, who was the DA.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's another thing. If they're like, young black kids in the inner city and their parents don't have the money for a good defense team, so
right, but the parents told them to confess to a crime they didn't commit.
Right.
That was
the thing is normally
parents were the defense team. Hey, go ahead and confess to the crime.
Yeah. Well, normally what happens is if you confess, they'll give you a more lenient sentence. If you were to fight the case, they would give you the full bore of it. So that's normally why, people who are on trial will admit to the crime, even if.
Well, what parent would say, "Hey, son, go ahead and confess to raping a woman"?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just
and that's the problem. The way we deflect and make excuses and just point the finger at Trump, it just doesn't make any sense to me. What parent says, "Hey, son, go ahead and confess to raping that white woman"? They gonna take it easy. I mean, Mr. Salmon, think about it. What black parent tells their black son, "Hey, son, black son, go ahead and confess to raping that white woman"?
I mean, well, it's obvious that, if their parents that's allowing their kids to run around in Central Park in the 1980s, the late 1980s and the early 1990s during the crack epidemic with all that crime, obviously they weren't parents that gave a damn either way, So
Okay. Go ahead, T. Khalid. You can add to this.
Yeah, I didn't even come in on the first segment, but it is interesting how black people want to. It's crazy, man. A lot of us are programmed, especially the liberals. They don't ever want to blame Democrats for anything because they want to be justified psychologically for voting for Democrats, whatever they do, even if they ignore us. So yes, when it comes to the Central Park Five. It is amazing to me that Trump, who was just a civilian at the time, he had no power. Even if he took out the article and it was wrong, it's not his. He wasn't the one who sentenced them. So why didn't the DA and then why didn't they do their research and everything? It's just crazy. And then on top of that, she donates to Biden and Hillary Clinton. It's interesting when
T is bigger than that. She was like rubbing elbows with them. Like she was like a
yeah.
huge campaign organizer for them. Like she was cool with the Clintons and Obamas.
The thing is because she's a Democrat, the white liberal told the Negro to just straight up ignore and focus on Trump. And the problem with the black collective, especially the liberal collective, it's like when it comes to racism or injustice, the only type of racism and injustice they see is the one that's like blatantly in front of them. For example, a white man walks up to them and calls them the N-word, then they will say something is racist, but they don't see anything subtle. So for this instance, they don't do any research to see behind the scenes who sentenced them. They don't care about what Joe Biden did with the crime bill because they watched the media and the media said it's a good thing for them. So it's just like, so they don't see messed up things happening to them unless it's like in their face, like you can't hide it. And that's why the Democrats have been so effective of not only screwing over black people, but while screwing over black people, passing their screw ups on the Republican and then garnering 90% of the black vote. Like that's the true devil. That's the deceivery. They always say that the devil that you don't know, it's always worse than the devil that you do know. And because these Democrats are so quote unquote nice to black people, we don't get it. And this is why the benign neglect relationship stands because I think he was talking to the previous brother and he was just making excuses. That's the problem. It's that psyche. It's that it doesn't matter. I hate Trump emotionally. I don't care about policies. I just gotta vote against Trump because emotionally, not policy wise, emotionally, I was manipulated by the media because I didn't hate Trump prior to 2016. I just started hating him after 2016 simply because the media told me so. That's the problem with the Negro mindset.
Well, what about the Republicans who haven't made any efforts to get the black vote in the first place? How come they're not held responsible for not getting any black votes? I mean, if the Democrats are so racist, why don't they bring up, things in the debate or up in a political propaganda showing where the Democrats are being racist to black people or showing where Democrats are disenfranchising black people and people of color in general? I mean, obviously the Republicans really don't care about the black vote because that's not their constituency.
And you know what? The same is for the Democrats, but this is easy. The reason why, because y'all don't talk to them. Every time a black person expresses anything or goes to the Republicans and try talking to them or try talking about black issues, what does the Negro collective do? Y'all call him a coon. So what y'all have done effectively politically is y'all don't let both the Democrats, well, first, you let the Democrats know that no matter what, whatever Negro talks to the Republican, we are gonna whip him in front of you. We're gonna ostracize him to make sure that he or she knows that he is out of line for even thinking about speaking with you. And then what you told the Republican is there's no point because every Negro who talks to us, their community attacks them, belittles them, cancels them, all types of nonsense. Just think
So
about
you're
when
black, right?
Chrisette Michelle was tapped on the shoulder to sing for Trump's inauguration. She
You're
gets
black,
all
right?
these death threats from black people. Like,
Let me
why
ask
are
you.
black men going on her social media threatening to kill her because she's singing for Trump? Or and here's a lesser example. I'm not putting Steve Harvey as some black intellect, but why is it that when he just met with Trump just to talk to him about policy, Negroes are calling him coons? So this is why y'all told the Republicans don't talk to me. Y'all told them we will not talk to you. So it's that immature black behavior politically, which is emotion driven, it's not policy driven. Y'all are driven by emotion straight up because any intelligent person, whether it's the Asians, the Arabs, they all talk to both sides. We are the only race who attacks each other for talking to both sides. So appeal to us. It's no point. It's a waste of money. We whip
Okay, so what
back
have you
into the
asked the
Democrat
Republicans
Party.
for? What have you asked the Republicans for?
I don't have to ask the
I
Republicans for
mean, yeah,
anything.
you're supposed to ask them
The
for
only reason why
specific
I'm voting for the
litigation that you think
Republicans,
would be
I'm gonna tell you
beneficial.
why
What
I'm
did
voting
you
for
ask
them.
them for?
I'm telling you what. No. I'm going to phrase this. The reason why I'm voting for the Republican Party is because I live in Texas and I'm a border state, and a whole bunch of illegal immigrants cross this border, and I see how it affects the black neighborhoods. Black people can't even get jobs in their own neighborhoods. Handyman work is non-existent in the black community because they cannot compete with the low prices that the illegal immigrants set. And a lot of companies rather hire illegal immigrants to do construction work, yard work, mostly hands-on work that is being outsourced to illegal immigrants and affecting the black population. So it is affecting the economy of black people here in Texas. And it's also having the same effect in New York and Chicago. So yes, I'm voting for the Republicans to put a stop to that. And like I said, I can ask for the Republicans, me, myself, but collectively, if you're talking about the black collective, we don't ask any side
See,
for
here's the
anything.
thing, though.
So
Here's the
we're
thing
not
that
we're not we're not intelligent enough to do
you have
that.
to be specific about your litigation, exactly what you want. You can't just whine that about this or whine about that.
What are
You got
you
to be
talking about
specific
whining
about
about
what
it?
you
I'm
want.
voting for Trump because he is taking care of a specific need. Also, I have another specific need. I don't want these damn illegal wars overseas. I don't want to fight Russia. I don't want to continue to support Ukraine. This is a specific need.
You not fighting
Y'all
Russia.
whine,
You in
you
Texas.
liberals whine about racism, and y'all been whining about racism, and like Umar said, voting for Democrats for 80 years and got nothing in return. So what are you talking about whining? Y'all don't even have a policy position. I just told you a policy position. What is your policy position for supporting Kamala? What policy position? What is it?
What is my policy
Yes,
position?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, for supporting Kamala.
I'm not saying that I'm voting for Kamala, but if I was interested in voting for the Democratic Party, it'd be because I'd be more interested in moving forward instead of going backwards. Because a
That's
lot
not a
of the
policy position.
economic systems that the Republicans seem to be for seems to be going backwards. They're talking about bringing back fracking, drilling for oil, building, bringing
Which is
back
good for the economy.
metal or steel manufacturing
So
companies.
how is
When
that good? Listen,
all of that technology is getting
said
replaced, and it's
bringing
a waste
back.
of
How is
time.
bringing back, brother? You just said bringing back. How is bringing something back bad for the economy?
Because it's a waste of time.
Oh my God!
All of
Are
that
you serious,
technology is getting
brother?
replaced.
Oh my God! So then, these manufacturing
Look at your
jobs should
car.
just
What is your car
stay
made of? Is your car
overseas.
made of steel?
So no,
Is your
hold
car
on.
made of steel? Or is
So
it made of fiberglass
regardless of what it's made
and
of,
plastic?
what you're saying, so the manufacturing jobs that could be used for hiring Americans, especially if it's low skill labor, but if it's low skill labor paying a living wage that a lot of black people can use, that should just stay overseas because it's a waste of time. While they pay overseas people quarters every hour because they don't want to pay the American people. That's the acceptable thing to do. Instead of doing the American first thing to do is let me take care of my people at home by talking to these jobs and bringing them back here, that's a waste of time. Therefore, we should vote for
Listen,
the
the steel
Democrats
industry
who
is
continue to
done
keep these
for.
jobs
The
overseas.
Rust Belt is over.
Oh,
Ohio,
bro, this is the
Pennsylvania,
sweetest
all of
mindset.
the fracking is done for.
So,
Get
but
over it. It's done. And the only
you
reason
have
why they
not
took it overseas
explained.
is because China would do it for dirt cheap.
So
Look at your
you
car. What
don't
is your
listen to
car
what
made
Trump
of?
says though.
How much metal was inside your vehicle?
No, that makes that is beside the point. You don't listen to how Trump. Do you know what a tariff is?
Yeah, I know what a
So
tariff is.
okay, so what Trump wants to do, and he has done, is what he does is these companies who think they can go overseas and then sell their product back into the United States. Guess what? He's going to tariff the hell out of them. Just like what happens to American goods. That's why when you go to Europe, you don't see too many American foreign vehicles or American products. You know why? Because they tariff the hell out of us. So Trump is going to do the same thing, which is an incentive to have these companies come back here. I don't see how that's a bad thing. And how is that going backwards? Like, there's no logic in what you're saying, man.
You're
And we are
not even
living in the
realizing. So you
highest
telling me a
inflation
company
rate.
is going to
We're
pack
living in
up
the highest
all
inflation.
the
What are
way
you
from
talking about
China
the
and come
economy?
back to the United States and set up shop in what, the next 4 years? Hell no,
It,
that ain't
it's not,
happening.
it, it,
That's
it
a
may not
20, 30
happen in
year
4 years, but
project at the most. And by the time they done coming back, if they were to come back at all, you know what I mean? Trump won't even be in office anymore. I mean,
I'm
let's
not
get
going to
real.
hog the mic up, Donis. I'm going to pass it. I'm just going to say this. Of course, nothing is going to happen within 4 years, but you have to start the process. But doing nothing is better. No, excuse me. Doing something is better than doing nothing and having the status quo as is. Because for every job that leaves America, every manufacturing job, that's hundreds of thousands of people laid off without a job. I don't see how it's going backwards, bringing these jobs back, employing Americans.
No, the
That's not even a
technology
good
is
talking point.
backwards.
And that's it, bro. I see you guys are panelists. I don't want to hog it up.
Let me pass the. Go ahead, Festus.
Hey, good afternoon, Dynast. Hope you enjoyed your stay in Nigeria.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I heard both comments from Mr. and T, and I honestly did not hear any economic policies. I mean Kamala's economic policy. Mr. You didn't say much about economic policies from Kamala, and T made up a lot of good points as to securing the border. One, and then two, the industrial policy that Trump is trying to do to bring back manufacturing jobs in the US. You gotta understand that every nations are trying to like hold it down for themselves. If we do nothing, we're not gonna have anything doing in this country, man. So we gotta bring back the jobs back. And you said about fracking is bad. Would you rather pay double in oil price, or you want Americans to have jobs and so they can start fracking? Because a lot of Biden's policy, and which Kamala is probably going to inherit, is not going to do much to America. It's not going to bring changes to the country. And I just think we need to stop this she's a coon stuff and actually look at some of the things that Trump is talking about. He wants to bring manufacturing jobs back, and he wants to bring stronger policies with immigration so we can somewhat protect the border and have a lot of these jobs that the local communities are losing to stay with the locals. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I haven't really seen any good argument from the liberal left side to make me want to vote for them. We can say this and that about Trump. I mean, you gotta like listen to what this guy has actually said. I mean, since 2000, we've lost so much manufacturing jobs to China, and that has propelled China's economic growth. They've brought over 100 million people out of poverty, all because of the jobs that we took to China. Are we gonna sit back and just watch them just take over and without us actually not doing anything? You gotta like look at things in a geopolitical standpoint. Trump doesn't even care about NATO. It's a burden to the US. Europeans don't do shit. Ukraine war is a waste of money. Why can't we just bring all of that resources back? We're supposed to piggyback in everyone, wars here and there. Like, did Trump start any war back when he was president? We see how destructive economically the Ukraine war has been on Americans. The inflation rate is so bad. Is that the route that you want to keep going on? I don't think so. I don't think that's the right idea, though. I'm gonna let it pass it to someone else.
All right, let me
Yeah,
pass.
they
Hold on, let me pass it to Delroy. I'll pass it back to you, Mr. Sam. Go ahead, Delroy. Well, let me unmute you. Or unmute yourself, Delroy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Before I say something about the Central Park Five, since I grew up in New York and I was there exactly when it happened, T, um, let me tell you something, bro. Those manufacturing jobs, nobody could bring them back. No Republican, no Democrat, and nobody want to bring them back. Nor is the corporations going to cooperate with bringing them back. Money is the end game, and that's it. They don't give a F. It will not come back. Number one. Number two, China, especially China, the manufacturing, they have it down to a T, right? If you ordered something and you said um you only could pay 50 cents for this product. The Chinese will say, okay, well, you want to pay 50 cents for the project? I'll just make it lesser quality and give you what you want. They'll give you what you want. America can't do that. They cannot do that. Right? So forget about that goddamn thing. All right. As far as the border, I can't see the Republicans doing anything about it either, because both of them benefit from it, the Democrats and the Republican. Why? Because the corporations, again, they want the cheap labor. Okay, I work all over the United States. I work in about 40 different states because that's the type of job I do. Bring me all over the United States. All right, and I'm telling you, they want these people to come in. Right? So forget that. I work in small towns where they have factories. All those factories is shuttered. Every last one of them. And that started from the 1990s. Clinton, Bush, all them wanted that. They collaborated with the corporation to get those jobs over there. So ain't nobody bringing that shit back, right? So forget about that. Now the Central Park 5, like I said, I grew up in New York. I was there when it happened. All right. Growing up in New York, you think places like southern places and Texas prejudice, they're not prejudiced like New York and the North and Boston and those places like that. The so-called liberal place. Right? I grew up with peer racial fight almost every Friday in my goddamn high school. We had racial fights, fist fight, knife fight. Right? When the Central Park 5 thing happened, not the black people was petrified because they were after those kids, right? The parents was petrified, right? The parents, the lawyer, the kids' lawyers taught the parents because it seemed like an open and shut case, right? And pressuring them, right? The kids them was frightened. The parents was frightened. Black people in New York at that time was frightened, right? So there were pressure into confessing, right? As far as what Trump did, a lot of people felt that way. He was just big and bold enough to put out an ad because he really believed they did it, right? But as far as blaming him anything like that, all that shit is bullshit. He put out an ad at the time. Whether he felt like these kids are black, so I'm going to get them or not, it really doesn't matter. That's besides the point. Okay, he wasn't prosecuting them, right? So that's besides the point. You see what I'm saying? But the children was scared to death, and you cannot blame them because that is the atmosphere. That was the atmosphere in New York. That was the atmosphere in New York, right? You don't know what type of threat these people these people got. You don't know what type of a threat they got. Listen, you don't confess to this, is X, Y, and Z to your ass. You see what I'm saying? That's what was going on. So that's all I'm gonna have to say about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to respond to you, man. Because no, I don't. I'm not gonna just give up with the jobs thing. Because no, the reason why is because no American president has aggressively tried to bring jobs back to this country like Trump, and was bold enough to put tariffs on other countries. So I'm not going to just give up on that. I'm also not going to agree with you with your border issue. In fact, I don't think you pay attention enough to politics like how you claim. Because if you did, you will know that under the Trump machine, which is MAGA, a lot of Republican, Rhino Republican, Bush type Republicans don't like them. And yes, it is those Republicans that don't care about the border. This is why those, in fact, you need to Google Bush Republicans are voting for Kamala Harris. So what that
I
means,
know that, bro.
and
I know
rhinos,
that.
so what that means is rhinos who are not MAGA, yes, they support the status quo and they
Who
hate Trump. So no,
who
I'm not going to agree with you
who
on this
who
Republican
sent back?
thing
Who
because
sent
Trump
back?
is the only person who actually tried to
T
build a wall.
T
Trump was the
T
only
T
person who instituted
T.
this
Don't
family
convince me about. You're
separation.
not
So
convincing me
don't
about
try
Trump,
to
right? You're not
come
trying to
at
convince
me
me
with
about
the
Trump, right?
Republican thing. There's a difference
T
between Trump and MAGA. You're
T
not talking to someone stupid. I pay
T
attention to politics. You
T
have not paid
T
attention to that.
T T. Did I say what I do? I say I live and work all over the United States. I know what's going on in these
Yeah,
places.
the Rhino
Okay?
Republicans. And Trump was the only Republican that say we got to do something about the border and
Who's
actually did something. Do you know who did the
T
family
T
separation? Do you remember that?
who sent
How
the
is
most
that not a deterrent?
T
Explain.
who sent the most people back to Mexico?
I
Obama
know
or
Obama
Trump?
did. I
Okay.
know Obama did,
So so so
but
what
you're
so
not
what are you talking
understanding
about?
who did the family separation. Who did remain in Mexico? Answer that question.
T
If the border was not serious, why would Trump have a
T
remain in Mexico policy for
T
asylum? Answer
who
that
who
question.
who control the
You can't
United
even
States?
answer the question. Jesus
Who control the
Christ!
United States? Who control the
Oh
United States?
my bro, you
I'm
are
telling you, the
deflecting.
corporate. I'm saying the
You're deflecting.
corporations. I'm not reflecting nothing. The
I just
corporation. The
the audience,
corporation.
the audience,
Okay,
I just asked this man that Trump had a family separation policy that liberals complain about. That means when illegals come with families, they will be separated from them. That is a
bro. That is
deterrent. Trump
besides the
also
point.
had
I'm
a
telling.
plan where a
That's
remain in Mexico,
beside.
meaning if an
You live in
illegal
Texas, right?
crosses the
You
border
live in Texas.
illegally, they have to remain in
T
Mexico. Trump
T
also
T. You
built the
live in
wall.
Texas,
How the
right?
hell is that not a deterrent? Tell
T.
me.
Do you live in Texas?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay, I work in Texas in 2011. Right? I worked Texas in
But
2011.
you're not even answering my questions, but
Texas,
well, go ahead.
Texas, Texas, Texas is run by immigrants.
Oh, God.
Okay?
I was just
Texas
answering
is
my question.
run by immigrants. You're not going to stop anybody from coming over that damn
Okay,
border.
I
They're going to
know. Do
find a
you
way
know
to let
why?
them in.
Because the border laws that we have in enforced, like, bro, you have to listen when I'm saying. I know that. And it's because the border policies that we have enforced by the Democrats currently, it's going to continue to get worse. But what you're ignoring, what you are ignoring,
Trump,
is what the Trump campaign did to
you
reverse
really,
that. And what you're also ignoring is the executive
I'm not
orders that
ignoring
Biden
nothing. I'm telling you
overturned from
reality.
Trump
You're not
that made
listening
it
to reality,
worse.
T.
So
You're not
this
listening
both
to
sides
reality.
narrative is not working with your
You're
argument
not
because you're
listening.
not
No,
disproving what I'm
you
saying.
like I said, bro.
Disprove
Like I
what I'm
said.
saying.
No, I'm not listening to you.
You won't.
I
You
won't. I
All
can't.
right,
won't listen to you
guys,
because you're talking
guys,
bullshit.
let me pass the mic. Let me
Okay?
pass the mic.
You don't know shit. You don't work across the
So
United
you
States.
don't know anything because
Okay?
you can't
All right,
disprove what I'm saying.
That man, shut up, bro. You don't know shit.
hold on, let me pass the mic. Let me pass the mic. Taylor, go ahead, Taylor. Unmute yourself, Taylor. Unmute yourself, Taylor. Taylor. Okay. Go ahead, Kyla. Unmute yourself, Kyla.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, it's my phone. You always call it Obama phone, but it's actually an iPhone. Very expensive.
Nah. You must have the original iPhone. You must have an iPhone 1.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
You must have an iPhone 1.
That's funny. No, it's like iPhone like 15 or something like that.
I don't believe you. Go ahead.
The latest one, but it's still good though.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I want to know something, right? If people could answer me as one thing, I'll vote for Kamala. I really would, right? If they get put somebody can honestly ask, I asked this on my show, right? No, I'm gonna ask this on my show. I thought about it today. And I had a conversation with somebody. So I'm gonna bring that up on my show tonight. I was gonna do a show tonight, but I really gotta get this out there. And I know what it was. I had a call list that I asked one of my agents this, right, and he said, "You know something that makes sense. How is it that these people are trying to retry Trump again, right? Under this idea of the law was broken, the law. But yet, when people come across the border, they said when it's to their benefit, they're saying forget the law. You cannot have a country where some laws are obeyed and other laws are like this would make a lot of black people resentful because one guy Ben Uku, remember him? He called my show and he just went off, man. I said, look, I personally can't stand to see Mexicans whoever ripped from their parents and they're crying and being separated. Well, he said, well, fuck that, Collar. He said, if you go get a DUI, you in court, that judge don't give a damn about you being away from your kids. You're gonna do a couple of years in jail. They don't care about you ripping. So why is these people any different? I thought about it. You're right. How is it that some people can come across the board? That's breaking the law. You know?
I can answer that question.
Well, go ahead. I hope you have a good answer.
Yeah, because basically, are you aware of the law in regards to
you
sovereign citizen?
Order, you broke the law.
No. It's you can that
no, nothing, man. That's what I'm saying.
No. Do you drive 5 miles over the speed limit? You drive 5 miles over the speed limit. You're aware that you broke the law, right?
20 miles over the speed limit. That's reckless driving. You can go to jail.
Joe, you go to jail, but do the police officer pull you over and lock you up and put you in jail for going 5 miles over the speed limit?
They
Hey guys, let me get like 2 minutes in. I just gotta come in and go out real quick.
Okay, so the thing is,
illegal means illegal, bro.
If you're seeking asylum, you have a lot of time to report to the authorities that you're seeking asylum.
That, bro.
Well, hold on. It's still Collar's turn. Go ahead, Collar.
Oh yeah, what I'm saying is this, okay, you're not gonna get jail time for littering on the ground and whatnot. You get a fine, whatever like that. Nothing absolutely happens to somebody who breaks across the border. Not even a fine. Now come on, you gonna tell me that's just? When we gotta walk a chalk line, they're constantly over policing black people, locking us up every day, giving us tickets. I'm not one to make excuses for black, but they do got a point. There's one black cop was on there. Phil Scott played that. He said, "Yeah, I'm paid to harass black people, find anything on them, make their life miserable." So is that fair? That black people gotta live under the threat of being pulled over by the police, taking it for every little thing and whatnot. But yet these people could come across the border, use somebody else's social security number, and stuff like that. All the stuff they're doing, fake social security number, and get away with it. That's okay. That's breaking the law. So this country is gonna crumble soon if this keeps up. The country's gonna fall apart. It's all because America didn't put his foot down with these illegal aliens, and people coming over here. And if not, no offense to anybody, but foreigners in general, they don't understand this country. They don't like this country. All they want to do is blood suck this country like a bunch of parasites. That's the truth.
And that's why they call it illegal. I don't know why the brother is saying it's a crime.
Can I come in now?
Yeah, go ahead, Elvis.
Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Dynas. And shout out to Carlo, man. He's been holding it down since you've been going, Dynas. And guys, subscribe to his platform. I think it's open and it's a little better than Dynas. He doesn't chokehold people into arguments. But let me say this to T. Khalik. Look, T, you don't understand tariff, my friend. Tariff is a tax on the consumers. If you have to pay extra to bring goods into the country, the person who's bringing that goods he's gonna add that cost to the consumers, and that's what's kind of helping with inflation because Trump added a lot of tariff, or I think over 80 billion, and that cost was transferred to the consumers. So it inflated the prices of things that was being consumed from those countries who the tariffs were put on. So the way tariff work is if you're importing more than you're exporting, you're going to have a net deficit in tariff. If you're exporting more than you're importing, you're going to have a net positive. That's how tariff work. It's not about
And that's necessary. And that's necessary.
It's not necessary because it adds the cost to the consumer. So you pay more for goods. Hold on. Let me make my point. You pay more for goods because it costs more for the producers to bring those goods to you. So it's not a good thing for consumers. It's a good talking point politically, but it's bad for consumers. And second of all, fracking.
Now, but it is
one second. Fracking, like what we had with coal miners, right? Coal mining was a staple in places like Appalachia, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, places like that. And people it was a big political point. Many people say, oh, we need to keep coal, we need to keep this, and Democrats started going against it because number one, it was unhealthy for the workers. They got black lungs. A lot of them are dying young. And number two, we had better source of energy, and coal was obsolete. And Democrats went against it. And nowadays, it's something that people don't even talk about
Yeah,
no more.
Elvis,
Fracking is hazardous to the environment. It
Elvis,
causes
yeah, for
sinkholes. It causes a lot of environmental problems. That's not good for the environment.
Elvis. Let me ask you a question. Since you're concerned about people's health and everything like that, what do you think about the government spending billions of dollars? I'm in the healthcare field on HIV medication and whatnot, and making that like Medicare to cover that as a
That's so good. That's so great,
how is
Colin.
that? Isn't that irresponsible behavior?
No, that's great. Let me
Sexual
tell you. Let me tell you something, and that's why when I think that's a good contrast between
fracking,
Democrats and Republicans, because
exactly.
Democrats care about. Hold on, Colin. When it comes to price gouging for medication like insulin and other things that's necessary to keep people alive, Democrats has fought for it for many years, and
You said
that's a human right to health care. Many people believe that, especially Democrats. Hold on, Carla. Let me answer your question. I'm about to be real soon.
okay.
It's a human right. So
It's not.
if these companies have the right to jack up the prices for medications, a lot of people can't afford it. They die.
If you want to
Nobody should die because they can't afford medication. HIV at one point in time, having some kind of cure or some kind of medication for it was like the holy grail. So having that medication for people who have HIV or who have AIDS,
Elvis, and they should
it's a lifesaver, and the government should help subsidize it because a lot of people couldn't afford it if it was at the regular base price, which is like a $700 a pill.
what? You want to take it up the ass? That's what you pay.
There are heterosexual people who have AIDS. What are you talking about?
Bro, it's mostly homosexual, bro. It's not
Oh,
even.
Carla.
They make this.
Even gay people those who are gay and who choose to be in that lifestyle, if they have AIDS, there shouldn't be a death sentence.
Check this out. T.
You
Khalid.
know,
T. Khalid. Tell me, ask this you. You know how other people have like Palestinians and Palestinians hours.
See, Colin, we can't hear you. See, that's why, Colin, I know
Yeah,
you ain't got an
you're breaking up.
Yeah, I know you ain't got an iPhone, Colin. How dare you?
Oh,
How
man.
dare
I
you
would be on
have
my
an
Oh,
computer.
bro.
iPhone?
My
Goodness,
computer's
you know you
about
You
ain't got
about
my
to make a
presentation.
point too, man. Come on, man.
But
and
check this out. But
lastly
check
to
this
you,
out.
T. Kalik, when you
Hold on,
talk
hold on.
about why you
I
hold
would
on,
make
Carla,
that.
No,
I'm
no,
still on the floor. I
Elvis,
got 30
I
more
gotta
seconds.
respond to you. I
30
gotta
more
respond too,
seconds, and
man.
then I'll let you go
I gotta
because I'm
respond to
busy.
you too, man.
Yeah, 30 more seconds. To T. Kalik, when you said that you voted for Trump because of the voter, I agree with you. That's a
Yes, sir.
local issue that affects you. That's why I always say politics is local. So for somebody like
It affects
myself who live
Chicago
in
too,
Minnesota,
and
right?
New York,
I'm sure Donis, you remember.
and
Hold
California.
on, bro. Let me make my point. Donis, you remember when I point out my governor, right, Tim Walz, and I was praising him, and now he's our VP pick.
Boy,
He's done a lot of great things, a lot of progressive policies in Minnesota. Things like free lunch for kids and free breakfast, bro. That's so important because as a first generation immigrant in this country, when I was going to school, my parents made just enough that they didn't qualify for free lunch, but they didn't make enough to give me $300 every month for lunch. So that's very important to take care of our kids and feed them. To have women have the rights for abortion, that's important for people who have a labor mindset. Women should be free to do things that they want to do with
yeah.
their bodies.
Who wanna be
People
sluts? Yeah,
who
okay.
want to have a free health care or health care that's going to be subsidized by the government for poor people, Democrats is in favor of that. I'm in favor of that policy standpoint.
Yeah,
You
yeah. Probably.
understand?
No,
So when you
well,
just talk about voting for Trump because of the border, there are a lot of other people who have one or two issues that is important to them, and the Democrats is on their side. That's why they vote for the
Elvis,
Democrats.
you don't know
So
what
don't
the heck you're talking about. Talking about it's a
what
local
are you
issue.
talking about? You said
Texas
you voted
just
for
got
Trump because
sued
Mexicans are
for
coming into
trying to
Texas.
turn.
Elvis, you gotta let him talk now. Go ahead, T. Go ahead, T. Khalid.
Elvis doesn't know what he's talking about. Didn't Texas just get sued or a bill overturned or something for
See,
putting
there you
barbed
go,
wire
Donnie. That's
on
that's
the
that's why I
border?
say every time I come on the
This
platform,
is
Donnie's
what I'm
gonna mute
talking
me.
No,
about.
let the man talk.
No,
Let
no,
the
go
man
ahead.
talk. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Go ahead,
I
T.
just got to respond because he said this is a local issue. Texas can't locally enforce border patrol. It is if any illegal immigrant crosses this country, Texas can't just send them back. You do know that, right? You do know that the Biden administration is fighting Texas against that. They're saying that the border of the country is controlled by the federal government and not the
Of
state. So
course,
what are
of
you
course.
talking about a local issue then? What are you talking about local issue?
You said that a lot of immigrants are coming into Texas. You mentioned the fact that you live in a
Illegally, yes.
border state.
Illegally, yes.
You live in a
Illegally,
border
yes.
state. Do everybody live in a
Yes.
border state?
It doesn't
So
matter.
it's local,
But
and you think it
okay,
affects
this is
you?
so easy.
What are you
It's
talking
not
about?
affecting Chicago because you know what? It's so many coming over. You know that Texas is flying them around, right? So what are
You think
black
we have an
people in
immigration
Chicago,
problem
New
in
York saying?
Minnesota? You
What
think we have
are
an
black
immigration problem in
people in
Minnesota? Of course
Chicago?
we
It
don't.
doesn't
So it doesn't
matter.
affect
What
us.
are
It affects you. That's what being local is.
answer the question? What are black people in Chicago and New York saying about illegal immigration? What are they saying?
I don't know what they're
And
saying,
why are they
but
saying it?
it's not really affecting them. It's not
So when
affecting them.
your city is overran
Show
with
me a black
illegals,
person who
it
lost a
affects.
job to an illegal immigrant. Show me a black person who lost their apartment to an illegal immigrant.
No.
Show me a black person who
So
was taken off
obviously you're
welfare
not
so
as
that illegal
politically
immigrants could get on
astute,
welfare. It doesn't
Elvis.
work like that.
Elvis, you're obviously not as
It doesn't
politically
work like
astute
that.
as
That's what
you
I'm saying.
claim
How
to
does it
be
negatively
because you
affect you?
don't know what
Show
the
me.
hell is going
Show
on in
me.
Chicago and New York.
How does it
Elvis, listen to me.
negatively affect you? Show me.
Elvis,
Have
I'm
you
about
lost
to
a
tell
job
you.
to an
Elvis,
illegal? Have any of your family members lost a job to
Elvis.
illegal?
You
Has
sound
any of your benefits been taken away and given to an illegal?
Elvis,
It hasn't.
Elvis,
You're just fear mongering, my friend.
Black
That's all you
folks
do.
in Chicago,
You sound
Elvis,
like a
listen.
coward politically. You always complain. I'm for
Elvis,
Elvis, let T finish. Go ahead, T.
Elvis, black folks in Chicago. There are poor black people in Chicago. There are veterans in Chicago. Guess what? They're being absolutely ignored for housing, food, places to work in place of illegal immigrants. One of the main things that they're getting upset about is that there are black schools, parks that black people go to that's going to illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants are getting housing. Do you not understand that these are people who just crossed the border? And this is taxpayer, this is natives, this is people who are born and raised in America that has to use their taxpayer money to subsidize it. That's not fair. That's also bankrupted Chicago because you know why? Chicago is spending millions in taking care of non-citizens. New York is doing the
First of
same
all,
thing.
they're not
And do
illegal
you know what
immigrants.
Chicago and New York is saying to the
They're not
Biden
illegal. They're
administration? Do
seeking
you know what they're
amnesty
saying? They're
until they can
saying,
be
Biden,
decided if they
please help.
qualify for amnesty or
We
not.
are
They're in the
getting
country
broke. Are
legally.
you not
That's
paying
what you don't
attention?
understand. They're not illegal. They're not
Elvis is
illegal.
not paying. Elvis, Elvis, you are. Boy, you don't know what the hell
They
is
are
going on,
not
do you?
illegal. These are people who are seeking amnesty from countries that are going through wars or
Elvis,
political people who are being
You don't
prosecuted
understand the
politically.
United States.
They ask for
They,
amnesty, and
this
that's the
guy,
law. That's the federal law. When they ask for
this
amnesty, you
guy.
let them in, and then we'll review their cases. If they qualify for
Elvis,
amnesty, they can stay. If
no.
not, they get deported. That's
Oh
how
my
it works.
God.
It takes months
Elvis,
before the government decides. That's why they're here. They're not here illegally.
guy
Understand
can't
that.
be serious, y'all. This guy can't be serious.
Hey, let me pass it to Taylor. Let me pass it to Taylor. Go ahead, Taylor. Unmute yourself.
Yo, can you hear me?
We hear you now.
Man, plain and simple. The Democrats only care about the migrants, LGBTQ, and anybody else that just come along. They could give a flip about black people. Plain and simple. If you can't see it, then I don't know what to tell you. Because where all the money going for when we doing different kind of stuff, and it ain't going to black people, and they're going straight over to the migrants. Like I have people in my family with legitimate problems, but here go a perfectly healthy migrant is getting
It's
something over my family. So
yeah, Taylor. It's affecting white
man,
people too. Trust me.
It's affecting everyone. And you know what's
yeah.
interesting is that you even got liberal Democrats like Brandon Johnson of Chicago and Eric Adams of New York begging the Biden administration, pleading for some more money because they are running dry. They're saying that our cities cannot handle this overload influx of migrants. And it's keep coming because our border policy broken. I don't know what the hell Elvis is talking about, but we do have a broken border policy where an illegal immigrant illegally crosses the border. That's why they call it illegal. Because if it wasn't illegal, it will be legal. An illegal immigrant crosses the border, and because we got this stupid law to where we can't turn them around, we have to process them. This is what Trump is highly against because these are incentives to come to the country. When you don't have any deterrent, when you say, well, yeah, come over the country and you can stay in this country, even in, let's say you are seeking asylum, well, you can stay within the United States until your asylum case comes. The asylum case logs are backed up for years. And then they even got statistics where majority of illegals, they don't even go. Do you know why? Because they know that their asylum laws is bogus. It is mostly economic, and they are going to get deported. So what do these illegals do? They go to these sanctuary cities. And what these sanctuary cities is, mostly liberals, it's another incentive to have illegals to come over. So I don't know what this guy is talking about. And this is why they don't want Trump to win, because Trump is saying not only is he going to deport them, he's going to he's going to put back remain in Mexico, because your ass ain't going to jump this border. And let's say asylum, no, stay your ass in Mexico, and you're going to wait there, and we're going to build this wall. How is
T,
that
you see my
problematic to
point?
the black man? How does a
T,
black man hear that and say, nah, that ain't right?
T, do you now see my point? Or I tell you, these people, they can't stop this. You remember what happened in Florida? T, I'm talking to you. Do you remember what happened in Florida not too long ago?
T,
Could
you
you
gotta
hear
meet
me?
yourself, T. T, you gotta meet yourself, T. I get
Oh,
I
my bad. What specifically happened in Florida?
Um,
My
the
girlfriend called me
governor
about that.
the governor tried to shut the so-called illegal immigrants down during construction. You remember what they did?
No, I wasn't
They,
aware of that.
they went on strike. The governor had to apologize to them because the corporation told him to. They went on strike. Nothing was being built.
You talking about Ron DeSantis?
Ron DeSantis.
I'm gonna look that up. But
Get up.
regardless of that, man, I have
No,
not heard that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm just trying to
Go ahead.
show you. I'm just trying to show you how much power these corporations have.
No,
That's
I
all I'm
agree with
saying.
you.
You see
But
what I'm
what my disagreement with you specifically was that you said the Republicans are in it. Now you just quoted a Republican governor, Ron DeSantis, trying to do something about it. So you
and
have to understand that the only people who are actively at least trying to stop it, curve it, build a wall, stop the incentives, separate families are the Republicans. There is
trying,
no
trying.
Democrat
That's the word. That's
trying.
what you said.
So
Trying,
okay,
but they
so
still
this is why we
have
need a
to
super
adhere.
majority.
They
You're
still
right.
have to adhere to the
Yeah, you're
corporate.
right.
They still have to. Don't forget, a lot of these people are Trump people. A lot of these people that have illegal immigrants working for them, right, are friends of Trump. Okay,
Regardless
they
of that,
want these
hold on.
people. That's all I'm saying.
No,
That's what I was saying. I
no,
wasn't saying
because
it's right. I'm just telling you how it is.
regardless of some Republicans supporting it, you have to understand in order for these laws to change, because these are laws on the books that's been here before Trump, Obama, and it's been destructive. We have to have a Republican supermajority. Because if you hear what the MAGA Republicans, not the rhinos, not the liberals, the MAGA Republicans want zero illegals. They are for a wall. They are for remain in Mexico. They are for deportation. Okay. The Rhino Republicans that like who you are talking about, yes, they do nothing. And it's only the MAGA Republicans like what's that guy? Ron DeSantis and what's that governor of Texas? Man, I forgot my own governor's name when the
Greg Abbott,
wheelchair. Greg Abbott, yeah. He's the one trying to build barriers. And then his state is being overwhelmed so much, he's the one flying on the blue states. Do you know why he's flying them to a Democrat state specifically? To let these blue, no matter who voters to say, look at what you're doing. Because you keep voting for Democrats,
You see,
you're having all these
I,
legals, so you deal with it. So you cannot say that it's just the Republicans on it. No. The rhinos, yes. The MAGAs, no.
I just told you what happened. I said DeSantis had to apologize. The pressure
Apologizing
hit
to
him, so he had to
corporations is not
apologize.
apologizing to the Republicans or the MAGA. Okay,
He had
apologizing
to
to some liberal
apologize.
corporation is different.
Right. He had to apologize to the court. He couldn't legally do
And
anything,
I can't
even though
say
they had
what
it
you're saying
legally
is
there.
true legally.
That
I can't say what you're saying is true because I don't know about it, so I got to look into it. I'm just giving you the
yeah, but this
benefit
was
of the
big
doubt.
news. I don't know how. You just told me I don't follow politics, but I know
No,
that this was
I've
big
never heard.
news.
Yeah,
This is big
I would have
news.
heard
This is
that, and
big.
that would have been talked about. No,
Mm,
I haven't heard about that.
Well,
But
then, bro.
regardless of that, what you're failing, and you are absolutely ignoring me. You're not addressing, like I said before, and me and you are going in circles. You are not addressing Trump's remain in Mexico. You are not addressing Trump's family separation policy. You are not addressing Trump bolstering
Wh-
ICE to do a
Did,
lot of deportations.
did
You are
I
not addressing Trump
did I
doing the
said I
border
was
wall.
did I said I wasn't voting for Trump? Did I say
No,
that?
no, no. But when you came on,
I'm
you
just telling
said
you the
nothing
reality,
is going
bro.
to happen on the border. That's what you said,
Nothing.
and I
And
disputed
you
you.
will see.
I showed you
And
proof that something has happened on the border under
time,
Trump and a super
time,
Republican. So
time,
I disputed you.
time is gonna prove me right. You will see.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Well, then vote for
We shall
Trump.
see.
And if I'm wrong, then I say, okay, you're right.
All right.
Let's put Trump in office,
Let's see.
and let's get a
Because
super majority Republican. And yes, you will be right. If Trump's in
okay.
office and we have a super majority Republican Senate and Congress, and they don't do nothing, then you are absolutely right.
I don't think we're gonna have a super majority.
Because that's the problem, bro. Like you say, the Republicans, the Democrats are the ones voting against the border, saying I mean, listen, Brandon Johnson. You got black folks complaining, and do you know what
You blanked out.
You blanked out, T.
Yeah, let somebody else talk.
Yeah. Go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, I didn't get an answer from Elvis. What I asked him, it's always vague. Well, excuses. No, either you have a law or not. He says, well, they technically not breaking the law because they're trying to seek asylum. You came across the border, illegally. You broke the law. There's no questions about it. So you got lawbreakers dictating. And so I'm saying to myself, what this is going to lead to is anarchy. Because people are going to be like this. If he can break the law, so can I. You think everybody's going to sit here and be docile and watch you freaking prosecute us? Because if Kamala gets office, all kinds of people. They already started to go after gamers. You heard about that, Dynas? The FBI, Biden administration is going after gamers. People say the wrong thing. I watch a game. YouTube and these games going to have to report all kinds of activity and stuff like that. And gamers, they're going after your freedom of speech. They're going after everything. They're talking about locking you up, for holding meetings. People protesting COVID was facing jail time. This is what you're dealing with. You can go to jail for not wearing a mask and everything like that, but it's okay for you to come across the border, an international border, and it's okay long as you claim you seeking asylum. That's insanity.
Yeah, but that's the law, though, Colin.
What's the law?
You can seek asylum.
No, cannot seek asylum. Asylum is if the country's at war, you can't see. You got to apply for it in your own country. You can't just break across the border and say,
But that's what I'm saying. You're saying you can't seek asylum.
no, but you
I
got
said you
to
can.
first before you come here. When you
Yeah, but you can seek it.
Yeah, you can seek it, but I'm saying
Right.
you can't enter the country until you get approved.
Well,
You
guess what?
break
Well,
across
guess what, bro? Like I said,
the border and then talk about I want to seek asylum. It don't work like that. That's break.
you ain't gonna sign unless you're gonna put soldiers, or are you, or unless you're gonna put soldiers on the border to
That's
shoot
what
people coming across.
people need to be shot when they come across that border. Try to go into
Right. So that ain't gonna happen.
try to go into Guatemala on the Mexican side. Try to go into there legally. See what they do to you.
Yeah, we're talking United States. I'm not talking to
Why
them.
is this virtual sick?
It's not gonna happen here.
It's gonna come down to it. You're gonna see a side of America you didn't know exists. That's what
It's not gonna happen here,
so
bro.
I think this country is soft and everything. This country is
It's
a lot.
it's not gonna happen,
Okay,
Kyla. Soldiers not gonna be shooting nobody coming across the border.
keep saying that. Keep saying that.
Now keep saying the word, keep saying it ain't gonna happen.
That's exactly what happened.
I got shit, bro. I got lieutenants, sergeants in the military right now in my family. They not shooting nobody coming across the goddamn border.
Bottom line is that could change. If they say, look,
Nah, it's not gonna change.
if the policy is somebody is across the border is an invasion, well,
They're
that's
not gonna be shooting women and children coming across the border, Kyla. It ain't gonna happen.
Delroy. Let me see. If they put the
Don't Delroy me, man. It's not gonna happen. You know it's not gonna happen.
touch your intelligence, right?
No soldier is gonna be shooting women and children coming across the border. It ain't gonna happen.
The Border Patrol is not mandated to do that. But if they put the Marines or the Army on the
The
border,
Marines especially ain't gonna do it.
okay, if they put the Army on the border, it will happen.
Then you go for Army to Marine. It's not gonna happen, brother.
Okay, you
It's
keep
not.
no.
It's not. They're gonna be. No one in the United States military is gonna be shooting women and children coming across the border. They ain't gonna do it.
Powers
You
that
might as well forget it.
powers that be don't give a damn about the country. So I'm saying to myself, why are we being loyal to a country that doesn't?
Kyla, if you were in the military, would you shoot women and children coming across the border?
Am I right? You a country is telling
Answer the question. Answer the question.
what?
Would you, as a soldier,
Yeah, I
shoot
would.
women and children come across the border?
Come across that border, I'll shoot you. Yes, I would.
You ain't gonna shoot no women and children
I
coming across the border. Stop
personally,
being emotional and stop talking shit. You ain't gonna do it. Shut up. You're not doing it.
if I order to shoot, I do it. You know,
You ain't doing it, Kyla. You know you're not doing it.
if I had orders to shoot somebody, and
Who,
I always want to shoot somebody.
Kyla, you ain't doing it, bro.
So the bottom line is this: if I was in the army and I was tasked with doing that, and they said it's either you shoot them or get court-martialed or whatever like that.
Nah, they don't want to go to give you that order.
Okay, what if the order does?
Okay, it's not gonna happen. And first of all, you could refuse an order like that.
Okay, you thought that, but this country, the states with the war with each other at one time. 600,000 people died. Anything's possible.
How many people died?
Yeah, 600,000 people died in the war between the states.
Oh, come on, man. You talking about 18 cannibal? Forget it.
How do you have people on the show that don't know America? He don't know more than 500,000 people died in the Civil War.
Who don't know? Who don't know?
Yeah, you acting like it can't happen. Yeah, it can.
Who don't know? It cannot happen today, brother. Okay, that was a goddamn civil war. You think that was? That's a civil war.
If you think about foreign people taking over the country and whatnot, doing what they do, the Venezuelan gangs.
It's people coming to take over the country, invade the country. That's something different. Give me a break.
Eventually, the guns are gonna come out.
Okay, that's different. That's different.
Sitting here, you foreigners don't know America. You don't. You think you do. You don't know this country at all.
Kyla, I know America more than you.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Oh, prove that you know America more than me. Prove it. How are you gonna prove it?
I know America. You don't know.
How are you gonna prove it? Prove it.
I proved it. You had 600,000.
How you prove it? How many states you live in the U.S.? How many states you live in the U.S.?
Doesn't matter. I know this country. You don't even know that 600,000 people died in the Civil War. You don't know this country,
bro. Bruh. I went to school here. How can I know that?
Yeah,
my whole history is American history.
And so the bottom line is, I don't know what you're
okay. Well, man, stop, bro. Stop. Ain't nobody shoot nobody coming across the border. Period. Okay. Nobody shoot nobody across the border. Period.
Look, if America could drop an atom bomb on Japan, here's why.
Bruh, this guy talking about war now. Ain't nobody shoot nobody coming across the border.
To the point where the people demand war. Do you know? Let me tell you about American history, what you don't know, right? The United States thought the Spain sunk the Maine in Havana Harbor, right? And guess what?
I know that. I know the history. Kyla. I know the history. I'm a student of history, Kyla.
Congressman, that's what happened. People in America are.
First of all, get a good phone, bro. Get a good phone. Then come on and talk nonsense. Get a phone.
Just say like this. All you need to do is say, pray God. The majority of white people.
I don't pray. I don't believe in God. I don't pray.
You better, because
I don't pray. I don't believe in no fucking God, Jesus. Okay, I don't fucking pray.
All you illegal aliens, if America turns against you people, you're finished.
Who's illegal? Who's illegal?
You.
Kyla, go suck your mother. Are you out of your mind?
All right, y'all. We go in the show. All right.
You wrong dude you're talking to.
Come on, y'all.
Wrong dude you're talking to. You know you Dynasty. You know you're talking to the wrong dude. I will tear your ass up.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe.
Tyler, you must be out of your effing mind.
Peace.